Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed that kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't touch? Not the kind you feel in your muscles, the kind you feel behind your eyes. The kind that comes from trying to be someone else for too long. From carrying a past you keep trying to outrun. From quietly wondering if you're allowed to exist as you are right now. A lot of people think they're exhausted because they failed. But most of the time, that's not it. Most of the time, they're tired because they've been in a long, quiet war with themselves. And I want you to know, I didn't come here to push you tonight. I didn't come to motivate you into another version of your life. I didn't come to tell you what you should be doing next. I came to sit with you for a moment and talk about the peace that shows up when you finally stop running. There's a lie many of us were taught, and it's a convincing one. It sounds responsible. It sounds grown up. It even sounds spiritual. The lie goes like this: I'll be at peace someday. When I fix this part of myself, when I heal that wound, when I become better, when I finally stop being this. But here's the thing. Peace that depends on the future isn't peace at all. It's postponement. So we turn our lives into projects, constant renovations, always improving, always becoming, and somehow never arriving. But hear this gently. You can't outrun yourself into wholeness. Every wisdom tradition has been trying to tell us the same thing for a long time. Jesus said, the kingdom is within you. The Buddha said, you are what you seek. The Tao says, stop striving and you will arrive. Psychology calls it indignation. Different languages, same direction. Peace isn't waiting for a better version of you. It's waiting for you to stop rejecting the one who's already here. Now this is usually where fear kicks in. Because when people hear the word acceptance, they think it means giving up. But that's not what we're talking about. Acceptance isn't saying, this is all I'll ever be. It isn't complacency. It isn't resignation. Acceptance is the end of the inner argument. It's the moment you quietly say, this is my body. This is my history. This is my life. And I'm done fighting what already exists. Because resistance creates suffering. Pain shows up on its own sometimes. But suffering is what happens when we argue with the fact that it showed up. And something important happens when you accept yourself. You don't collapse. You exhale. And in that exhale, all that energy you've been spending on shame finally gets to rest. This is where healing really begins. Not through force, not through self-discipline, not through fixing, but through presence. Another quiet thief of contentment is comparison. You catch yourself thinking, I should be further along. I should be happier by now. I should have figured this out already. But comparison rests on a false assumption. It assumes everyone is following the same syllabus. They're not. A river does not apologize for not being a mountain. A tree doesn't envy the bird. Winter doesn't rush spring. Omnism reminds us of this softly. There are many paths, many rhythms, many seasons. You're not late. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're on your path, moving at the speed required to actually integrate what you've lived. And contentment begins when you stop grading your life against someone else's syllabus. You're allowed to drop that class. Some people are afraid of contentment. They worry it means shrinking, settling, losing ambition. But contentment isn't resignation. It's alignment. It's when your inner life and your outer life stop pulling in opposite directions. It's when you no longer need the world to keep reassuring you that you're okay. It's when you realize, I don't need more to be okay. I need to be okay to know what more even means. The saints called this peace beyond understanding. The mystics called it resting in God. The Taoists call it harmony. Psychology calls it coherence. Different words, same experience. The heart grows quiet, not because life is perfect, but because you've stopped demanding that it be. Let me offer you something simple. Tonight, don't try to fix your life. Just try this. Put one hand on your heart. Feel your breath. Move in and out. And say gently, honestly, without conditions, this is my life. And I'm allowed to be here. This is my life. And I'm allowed to be here. That sentence isn't weak. It's revolutionary. Because the moment you accept yourself, the inner war ends. And when the war ends, peace doesn't have to be chased. It shows up. quietly, faithfully, right where you are. Before we part, I want to offer you a blessing. Not a promise of success, not certainty, not a guarantee that everything will work out. Something better than that. May you stop fighting your own existence. May you stop postponing your worth. May you stop believing peace is something you earn through perfection. May you accept your life, not because it's ideal, but because it's real. And may you discover that contentment was never waiting for a different life. It was waiting for you to finally come home to the one you're already living. Amen. Au. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. And so it is.